And it's so weird that they put like a weird RPG system in this game. It's like, why? Like, it feels derivative in the same way that the Werehog combat is, you know? It feels like, well, it's Sonic. We have to have at minimum,
Dare they call
a
this
second...
culinary concoction food? Look here, do you see this sorry excuse for a sandwich? The bread should be no less than 3/4 of an inch thick. Upon it, 1 tablespoon of mayonnaise and a pinch of black pepper. The contents...
It kind of feels like they just threw it in there because they didn't have any better ideas, which is kind of the worst thing to do.
I know I learned something here today.
Professor, it's good to see you haven't changed.
But tell me, what
I like the idea of Tails being friends with a professor
No, Professor.
at a university,
We came here to rescue
because
you.
Tails is like an intellectual kind of guy. He's like an inventor. He's a smarty fox. So yeah, he would know folk in the university scene, right? I don't know.
You can file a complaint later, Professor.
Let's get out of here before Eggman's welcoming committee shows up.
Oh, yes, quite. But let us be sure to collect the contents of that vault before departing.
Nice. Like the RPG system, the God of War-esque gameplay, it feels like, okay, it looks like they looked out the window, metaphorically speaking, and looked around at what other games were doing.
After being fed nothing but those terrible sandwiches.
And this game came
Some
out
chocolate,
in
Professor?
2008.
My.
What was
Don't
big
mind if I
in
do.
2008? Forcing like really generic, poorly thought out RPG systems into games, like to provide incremental stat increases, and like God of War style combat. There were a bunch of God of War games jumping on the God of War fucking bandwagon.
Planet some tens of thousands of years ago.
A disaster?
To understand the design decisions behind any given Sonic game,
This isn't the first.
all you gotta do is look at the games that were around that Sonic game at the time it came out. Sonic, from the very beginning, kind of was defined by,
phenomena we've witnessed are the direct result of one creature. The
like, anything you can do, I can do better, kind of a mentality, right?
Gaia.
How do we stop this Dark Gaia and put the world back together?
Luckily, Dark Gaia has yet to be fully reborn. We most likely have Dr. Eggman's premature wake-up call to thank for that. If we act now, we
And
may
see,
be
any
able to
scene where
restore
Chip
the
isn't
planet,
talking, I'm
returning
giggling.
power
It's
to the
kind of
Chaos
funny.
Emeralds. Sonic, you must travel to each of the temples listed in the Gaia manuscripts. The planet's power will restore
It's really
the
just his
Chaos
voice that
Emeralds, and
spoils
in
it.
turn, the Chaos Emeralds will restore the planet and help it heal naturally.
So the plot of this game is Eggman found a weird manuscript thing that said, hey, there's an evil thing that lives in the planet, and if you blow up the planet, you can make I don't know. Why did you blow up the planet, Eggman? Didn't you have a whole thing about how your grandpa was a dick for doing that? To me, like, this is like one of the first Sonic games where I'm like, man, there's just nothing to talk about with this story. The story is so nothing. Like, the story is, let's go around to... I do like the kind of twist of you already start out with all 7 Chaos Emeralds. He had them right there at the beginning of the game. Now they've just been drained of their energy, and now you're going to these different temples in order to recharge them. So that's kind of a fun twist, where instead of traveling around trying to find the emeralds, you're traveling around to these temples, I don't know, these ancient Echidna temples, to try and revitalize the Chaos Emeralds. And, like, there's your excuse to start, like, traveling around the world. Because, like, what's the plot of this game? Eggman woke up the Dark Gaia, and now the Dark Gaia blew up the planet, and it's in a bunch. It's a Star Fox adventure. Dinosaur planet's in a bunch of pieces. Go to the temples to get the magic thing in order to put the planet back together. It's so nothing. It's literally just the plot of Star Fox Adventure. Like, so who fucking cares? Not because the plot of Star Fox Adventure was bad, but just like, that's not the priority. Like, it's an excuse. The plot, the story, the conflict of the game isn't... Who am I talking to? This kid? Who is this talk prompt for? I guess it must just be for this kid. Like, it doesn't matter. That's not the priority. You're not supposed to think about it, but it's really not a big... They clearly didn't put a lot of thought into it. You know, with Sonic Adventure, I had a whole speech, I had a whole analysis about the lore and the Echidna Empire and Mesoamerican pyramid design, and like, you know, that's fun to talk about. There's nothing here. There's nothing here to talk about. Like, setting up this whole thing of Dark Gaia. It really doesn't go anywhere, and it really doesn't expand on the setting of Sonic's universe. It's not a big deal. To me, it's like, who cares? To me, the story, the narrative, the conflict of this game isn't important. What matters is the journey. It's like, you know, that story of like, it's not the destination, it's the journey. That's what the whole game is built around. The game is built around going on a world adventure. That's really what the idea of the game is. You're traveling from place to place. I know! Okay, like, you can just change it from day to night, depending on where you are, but the kind of annoying thing is, look at the sun in the background, you actually have to wait for the sun to rotate around the planet. It won't just instantly trigger from day to night, you actually have to wait. And that raises a lot of questions about the time, like, how long this adventure is taking. Like, because if you pass day to night, day to night, day to night, like, this is taking months. This is taking weeks at minimum. The planet is cracked and broken up, and you can see the fucking molten core of the planet for weeks. But again, that doesn't matter. Don't worry about that. Like, really just kind of try and put that out of your head. The core running philosophy of this game is you're traveling around the world and, you know, interacting with these exotic cultures and seeing these really gorgeous locations based on places in the real world. Like, the emphasis is on, like, you're on a vacation, you're going on this journey, on this world adventure in 80 days. It's really fun. Like, it's actually kind of hilarious how, like, the story of the game is Eggman is using the Dark Gaia to blow up the planet.
Who are you?
But the mood,
Fear not, my good villagers.
like, the tone of that story is very good natured, is very uplifting.
We're not telling you anything!
The fucking robot!
So, you dare to defy me, do you? What? Sonic!
Yeah, there we go. There's the real
Thanks for
reintroduction.
that little skydiving adventure the other day.
I should have known you'd still be alive, you stubborn
You
little
saw me
dog.
on the plane. You saw me on the tornado. You shot down your thing.
I see no reason to tell you. In any case, I'm busy. Farewell!
What? Hey, wait! That's playing dirty! Come back!
Just ignore him. Is everyone here all right?
Oi, 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 oi. Like, no one's very concerned, is my point. Like, the world's been blown up and destroyed, but everyone's kind of doing okay. No one's really, like, it's not like... Remember that scene with the ice cream man who was like, oh, we're doomed? No one's really like that. Like, that one guy was like that because of a thing that, again, we'll get to later. Like, again, the world really hasn't been opened up to us quite yet. Like, that actually becomes a game mechanic later, though. I'll explore that a little bit, because I'm so not gonna do it. I'm gonna do it when the tutorial makes us do it, but I'm so not gonna do it beyond that. Is it becomes a game mechanic later where you go to those people who are being all bummed out and feeling shitty about the situation, and you make them feel better. you put them in a better mood. Like, it's literally a game mechanic and side quest to go, like, to cheer people up and make people feel better. Hello? Oh. Okay, then. Well. I suppose that'll happen. Suppose that's like one more badnik I can. Where the fuck? I have never seen these things before. I don't know, I just miss my classic badniks. Like these guys, they're kind of vaguely similar to some badniks that were in Sonic Adventure. But like it's these guys, like a badnik that's just a gun, and the weird not swap box. And that's kind of it. And none of them are like super interesting in their design. Like they aren't very like you know? They definitely put more work into the Dark Gaia creatures design than they did the badniks. That's all I'm saying. Like the feet. Oh, I don't have that yet. Like the vibe of this game, the tone is very positive. It's very like happy. It's like, yeah, we're having a good time going on this adventure, even though like when you actually think about it, the setup of the narrative is kind of fucked. And like you could see that playing out in a really morbid way. But instead they're like they're playing it in a positive, uplifting way. Like, everyone's kind of doing okay. Come on. There we go. Like, you're going on an adventure around the world through these environments. Which are like, look at how, like, the level design is really... Actually, the level design, like... The design of the levels can be a little bit questionable, and I'll talk about that later, but... Oh, god damn it. I was trying to get that videotape for some fucking reason. But the aesthetic, like the visuals, the way the environments look at how nice this environment is. And you can clearly tell, like, the location that it's supposed to be. Like, it's supposed to be Africa. It's not Africa, right? Ah, fuck. And you're running through it with this fucking style of Sonic gameplay that's like, yeah, this feels right, you know? The way Sonic moves in this new style just feels like, yeah, this is the way Sonic is supposed to feel. You always get that feeling. Although, I also know folks who have a problem. I know some folks actually have a problem with the way Sonic plays in these games. There's kind of a derogatory dismissal of this gameplay style that's like, it's boost to win gameplay. Where you have the boost mechanic where you press the button and boom, you're going super fast. That's the boost system. And some people aren't super fond of it, and they say like, oh, you just hold down the X button and you win. Like, you beat the level, you're just holding down the X button the whole time.
Feeling good.
Yeah, you're just boosting to win. Good job. You press the X button, you're so good at this game. Right? That's what they say. And it's like, oh shit. And it's like, no, but also, so what? Like, I'll never get that complaint of, oh, you're just, like, it reminds me of, I know a lot of people who also complain about the classic Sonic games, that minority of cynical assholes who are too cynical and too assholey, even for the people who say, like, Sonic hasn't been good since the Genesis. Those people who are like, all of the Sonic games are bad, even the classic ones. Where you just hold left to win. And that's their indictment of those games. Oh, you're just holding down one button and you win. Which is not true? Like, what are you talking about? You really don't get that much experience from Sonic levels. The Werehog, you get like a ton of experience because it's so combat oriented. But yeah, this is the first like true mainline 3D Sonic game that has the boost style of gameplay. And again, I love it. But this isn't actually the first Sonic game that had the boost mechanic. This is just the first 3D one that had the boost mechanic to it. The first game that had the boost system where you press the button and you boost forward like that was actually Sonic Rush on the DS. The Nintendo DS game Sonic Rush, which had Blaze the Cat! That was the first game where you press the X button or whatever it was on the fucking DS, the left button, and boom, you're boosting forward. So if you want to blame anything, I guess you can blame Sonic Rush for pioneering that. But that's one of the cool things about the Sonic series is... Oh. I like chips! Suck my dick! Oh shit! Ah, I missed the metal too. This actually reminds me of Sonic Adventure 2 styles of... Ah shit. Styles of bosses too, where it's a running boss. Fuck you. That's something I've always liked about the Sonic games, is Sonic Team has never been afraid of taking stuff from spin-off material and incorporating it into the mainline series. Like, that's where Cream the Rabbit comes from. Cream the Rabbit was introduced in a spin-off handheld title, Sonic Advance 2, and they made her part of the mainline 3D games. That's kind of a cool thing that, like, a lot of other game companies don't do, is they kind of keep their spin-off, their characters that are introduced in spin-offs to the spin-offs, and they don't bring them into the mainline games. That'd be like, imagine if a character from Paper Mario showed up in Sonic Odyssey, right? Imagine if you saw Goombet or Koops or one of Bouette, or the Lady Bow. Imagine seeing one of those characters in a mainline first-party Nintendo game. You wouldn't see that. You wouldn't see a spin-off character in the main franchise. But Sonic does that all the time. Not just with characters, but with gameplay. They see their spin-off games who might be made by other developers, like the Advanced and Rush games were developed by Dimps in collaboration. And they look at those games and they go like, hey, good idea, I like that gameplay idea you guys came up with for that game. We're gonna use that in the mainline game. We're gonna take this character and make them in an official, like, 3D mainline Sonic game. We like that gameplay element you came up with, the boost mechanic. That's awesome! Let's take that and put it in the new Sonic game.
Take this, you little...
And this boss fight, it's a running boss fight. It reminds me of the bosses in Sonic Advance, where every single fucking boss in Sonic Advance 2 was a running boss fight, where he's like going backwards the entire time and you're chasing him down, getting your hits straight. Fuck you. Wrecking your shit.
Same as ever, all bark and no bite.
And once again, I assert Sonic is just a character action protagonist.
Yes!
I kind of have to come out the gate and be like really aggressive defending these games, I feel. Because just, the internet being what it is, just completely ignores all of the positive aspects of these games. You will never hear anyone who talks shit about this game mention any of the stuff.
Is that the Temple of Gaia?
Now I'm talking about. They don't mention, oh, that's really cool how they have, like, the entire game's like a road trip game. And it really emphasizes, it's like a celebration of all these different cultures around the world. And it really evokes this sense of adventure, of traveling around the world.
Whoa, awesome.
What is this place?
And they'll be like, oh, you just press the X button boost to win. They don't talk about how, like,
Hey,
this
son,
is, like, super good
something
Sonic
neat
gameplay.
Right in the middle.
And they ignore any even pretending to give the werehog the time of day. They just go, oh, I don't like it, it's bad, because I don't like it, because it's bad, because I don't like it, therefore it's bad because I don't like it. Like, they don't actually look at the fucking gameplay mechanics and fucking give it a shot. They just go, this sucks because it's the werehog, right? Like, they just, like, immediately dismiss the entire game. They talk shit about it. They don't
What's that?
judge it fairly. They just say, oh, it's a Sonic game, so it's bad because it's a Sonic game. So I do feel that desire to be like, I gotta go out hard and heavy and defend it. Not so much defend it, but attack stupid people for not... for a...
Wahoo! The emeralds come back to life!
This was the temple.
I do feel that need to go out, like, somewhat aggressively and be like, so keen. And be like, no, it's not a bad game. It's fine. What are you, like, wait, you say it's a bad game, where? Where's the bad part? I don't know what you're talking about. I'm playing it and it's a good game. So go fuck yourself, you're stupid and an asshole for saying that it's a bad game. Right? That's the feeling, the urge, the responsibility that I feel is right. Started doing this video in the first place. I'm sick of people's bullshit. People's bullshit talking shit about Sonic. I gotta go to bat for my fucking boy.
All right. Nice job.
What did he do? So I feel the need to do that, but then Okay, that's out of the way. You know, we've established everyone who talks shit about this game's a dick. Right?
Planet-sized jigsaw
Okay.
puzzle? Sounds like a great...
This game has problems, and it's actually not a super favorite of mine. I have a lot of problems with this game. I feel like it's incredibly flawed. It's not one that would be near the top of my list of, oh, I want to pop in a Sonic game and start playing a Sonic game right now. I would not pick Sonic Unleashed. It's got its problems. I would actually say, like, I'm not super fond of it. Because I feel like I can't... Because like, part of me feels like, well, now I'm giving them validation. So I have to get the fuck you people part out of the way first. Okay, have we established that everyone's a dick? Okay, now let's talk about why this game isn't super great on its own merits. And not, oh, because it's a Sonic game. Oh, because it has the Werehog in it. Because the level design isn't super fantastic, and they kind of didn't really know what they were doing with this gameplay yet. They still were cutting their teeth on it. And the frame rate has a lot of problems, because in a game that's like super speedy fast, and like has a lot of emphasis on speed and platforming, it's kind of a bad thing when the frame rate starts stuttering and you start dropping into bottomless pits. Yeah, I didn't listen, actually, which is pretty funny. He knew. Tails knows me by this point. Like, there's things about this game's gameplay that I'm like, this isn't super great. And again, for all the same reasons that I would say about Sonic 1. It has a lot of bottomless pit syndrome. The level design isn't super up there yet. They kind of didn't know how to design a game with this style of gameplay yet. So, this game, I wouldn't say this game is super great, actually, but I can't come out the gate that way, you know? I gotta come out the gate going, hey look, it's a little squirrel with a Chow puppet. Look at this little squirrely boy. Look at this little squirrely boy, he's all shy. I'm talking to him, and he's all like, no! Oh no, it's a little Fluttershy! And now he's gone. That's one of the fun little NPCs we'll run into later, and you should do well to remember that NPC because it's important. It is important, and you'll see what I mean. And look, here's an NPC who's like an April O'Neil go-getter reporter who's trying to get the skinny on what's going down with the planet being all broken up. She's got to get her story, and you can interact with her throughout the game and contribute to her little narrative that she's going on throughout the game. And look, here's Boss. And he's traveling here after Spagonia, and he's gonna give us a little side quest. And he's gonna say, go give this thing to the little girl for me. And like, oh, that's cool. There's actually a lot of side quests in this game that you get for interacting with all these different NPCs. And hey look, now they're like, the world has officially been opened up to us, so here's a shopkeeper dude. And from this guy, we can buy souvenirs! You're traveling around the world and getting souvenirs from the places you go to, and you know what? You know what a hugely important thing about traveling the world is? Like going to another country? Something that's like just an integral part of traveling to a different country and experiencing the new culture? Food. Food is a huge part of traveling. Sampling exotic cuisines from all around the world. So all of the different continents you go to will have different foods that you can buy. that are unique to that country. And you can go into your inventory and fucking eat them. And if you feed it to Chip, he'll have a fun little bit of dialogue talking about the food. How are you supposed to eat it? And also, I know I just skipped over it there. Chili dog. I feel like this isn't... which one came out first? Was it this or Black Knight? Black Knight came out after this, so this is the first game that incorporated chili dogs. Like the Western cartoons, chili dogs was like Sonic's trademark favorite food, and that was a complete fabrication of the Western cartoons. And with this game, here's the moment. Here's the fuck it moment. Here's the moment where they went, fuck it. He likes chili dogs. Sonic's a chili dog boy. He loves him some chili dogs. So every single shop on every single continent around the world will have chili dogs that you can buy. Because you're fucking Sonic and he loves him some chili dogs. And I think they actually give you the most XP. You can get XP from eating food, it's not very efficient. And there are these homeboys. Everywhere around the world, every continent has one of these dog boys who'll give you a side quest. And if you can do the side quest, then he'll give you like a special chili dog. Sonic's like doing side quests in order to earn really kick-ass chili dogs.
Here we go!
Which I'll do really quick because it's like so not even a task to get 100 rings in a Sonic game. Look at that, we almost already have 100 rings. Look at how fucking fast that was to get. And also the music. Hey, like there's things about this game that I don't like and will complain about more as we go. Fuck! Hey, gotta love me some fucking instant death bits, right? I just wanted to show that off to show there are side quests. I'm like, here's the moment where I'm like, okay, time to start actually talking about how I kinda don't think this game is my super favorite. But there's so much in this game that like I really respect. I really respect a lot of the things that this game is doing. I understand its intentions, and I think it accomplishes those intentions. And you can't knock it for lack of content. There's so much content in this game. There's all these side quests you can do to earn chili dogs. There's all these NPC side stories that you can get embroiled with and interact with. We're gonna go to Spangonia real quick and give that little girl the gift that boss man told us to give her. Just to show that off. And that will keep going. Like, we're gonna continue interacting with that boss character who's going to continue beseeching us to give a gift to that little girl. And that story will play out throughout the game, and it'll have kind of a resolution that you might not expect. Ironically, Sonic goes super slow during these hub world sections. Oh hey, if you have a TF fetish, there you go. I like the Werehog. He's damn sexy. Anyway.
Found you, Sonic!
Oh no! I forgot about this.
Oh, Sonic! I've been looking for you forever!
Hey, let me go.
You're crazy if you think you can get away from Amy Rose and... Who are you?
Oh my god.
Oh my gosh, I am so sorry! I just completely mistook you for someone else! That is so strange. I could have sworn was him.
Amy,
I'm really sorry.
I think you should get glasses because you are clear. Look at how the fucking frame rate just fucking
Well, that was weird.
evaporated.
How come that girl didn't know you were you, Sonic? I mean, I guess you are kinda, you know. And, these guys...
I'm gonna keep saying it, the voice is super inappropriate for the character.
Oh, I mean, don't worry. Hey, you only look really scary, Sonic. Inside, you're the same as ever. I guarantee it, okay? Sonic, cheer up.
Once again, I must
chocolate.
assert,
Want some chocolate?
Amy, you need to get some glasses. I think you have crippling nearsight issues. Ironically, this is like the one time it actually was Sonic. She actually got it right, and then went, oh shit, I fucked up. Sorry. Like the one time. Anyway, fucking Amy. You go, here's the present, blah blah blah. There. Fulfilled that side quest. And now let's go back. And pretty much all of the NPCs have fun little side quests that you can interact with like that and go along with throughout the game. And like, there's just, you can't knock this game for lack of content. There's so much in this game that's like, you got your money's worth from it, you know? And a lot of it might be like, I don't get a lot out of this content. Personally, like, I don't do all of the hot dog missions. There are so many. I don't do the hot dog missions. I don't really bother interacting with the NPCs and doing their side quests. But it's cool that it's in the game, right? Like, that's my point. Like, once again, the people who shit on this game are really ridiculously unreasonable and just flat out incorrect in what they claim this game is. Personally, for me, again, this is the Sonic 1 of modern Sonic, and I don't really think Sonic 1's all that great. I don't like it that much. And I kind of don't like this game all that much either. Because, like, it commits some game design sins that restrict my ability to kind of enjoy it. But unlike Sonic 1, like this game has way more about it that I do like. Outside of, like, it has way more to balance the scales. Like, Sonic 1 had all these problems and really not a lot to balance it out. Sonic Unleashed has a lot of those same kind of problems. But it has all this other really great shit too that I think works really well and elevates this game. It's not one that I'm super interested in playing all that often, but it's doing something special. It's doing something unique. And it accomplishes it, and I think it really should be commended for that, and it doesn't get commended for that. So that's why I, like, gotta come out the gate and be like, fuck all y'all, this game's great. Okay, now let's talk about how this game isn't that great. You know, that was kind of my mentality. And again, we'll continue running into him later. So that's all. Like, it's out of the way. I'll try and minimize fuck the haters talk. And, you know, just, okay, we get it. Now for the game, right?